Hello, my name is Nikola Tesla, and you are nothing more than my scientific project at the moment. I want to conduct a test to see how people of this generation react to electricity, considering how they've had a good couple of decades since I've passed to be exposed to all the technological advancements that we've had that were all based on my projects that the government stole after I had passed away. A humanitarian? I was only a humanitarian for the pigeons, and only the pigeons. People I never had a very great fancy for. In fact, I always found that they were a little too many. Their population was a little too much for me. That's why I promoted natural selection within humanity. Only the beautiful should be allowed to mate, but people thought that I was being quite silly over those remarks. Hopefully the times have the times changed. Are ugly people still having children? Watch Honey Boo Boo? Is that English? It's a television show. Okay. I shall watch this program, but if it is filled with ugly people, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to watch it. Why would you suggest me a show that you know would bother? I assume the arrogance and the indifference of mankind have certainly not drowned out over the last couple of decades. Humanity really needs to shape up if they want to get to the level of intelligence that I was at when I passed. But now that I'm back, I can continue my work. The only thing is I'm going to have to break into the government secret files and confiscate back my work, my patents, everything that they stole from me. Oh yes, the government stole a lot of my work. They gave some of my patents to my family, but they took most of my stuff. They said it was too advanced and that it was dangerous and that if it were to get into the wrong hands, there would be an apocalypse and whatnot, and I just said, that's so silly. I mean, I destroyed my death ray. My death ray is gone. I thought it was a bad idea. Can't you? I believe my work can be trusted, but the government has always been quite a peculiar bunch of people. But in the meantime, I'm going to be conducting some more research of my own, progressing what I had been working on before my time had been up. And I'm going to be experimenting on you. I'm going to be conducting some electrotherapy on you, not electroshock therapy. I'm actually quite against it. Anything that is against the brain, I'm against. And I believe that electroshock therapy does destroy the cells within the brain, and anything that destroys the fullest amount of product that a brain can do or can make is a sin in my eyes. It's terrible, and I believe that it's been banned. Good news. Finally some good news from this world. We're making at least a little bit of progress. Anyways, I'm going to be conducting some electrotherapy on you. I'm going to simply transfer some of this static electricity onto your scalp. But first, let us both appreciate the beauty of this plasma ball. Because frankly, plasma balls are so fun and they're so beautiful. Look at that. It's amazing. Look, it follows my fingers. See? I created this. Is that not amazing? You're welcome. Oh, amazing. Look at how it sounds. Isn't it so beautiful? It hurts your ears after a while, but who cares? Now, I'm going to be grabbing a bit of static from this, and I'm going to be massaging the static into your scalp, and hopefully it will trigger the neurons in your brain. Tell me if you feel anything. I will register it in my brain. I do have photographic memory after all. Are you feeling anything yet? Well, it is going to be a bit of a process. So if you don't right now, you will, and if you don't, I'll feed you to my pigeons, no problem. I will make good use of you. You've always wondered what my IQ is. Frankly, you cannot put a quotient on my intelligence. My intelligence breaks the scale. I created what is now known as the smartphone in 1901. And Steve Jobs thinks he's some sort of... And people think Steve Jobs is some genius. No. Steve Jobs has the intelligence of a 5-year-old compared to me. Everyone has an intelligence of a 5-year-old compared to me, including that Edison of him. We were never nemesis, we were never rivals. I mean, we were rivals, but we were never arch enemies. But Thomas Edison and I most certainly had our differences, especially when it came to the currents of energy. I preferred the alternating, of course, and he preferred direct. And what that basically meant is that when energy was traveling through the coil, when it came to alternating energy, my energy, the way I had created the system, was basically that it would travel in a circle, in a spiral through the coil, thus transferring more energy possible to its destination. However, Edison's proposal, or his patent, proposed that energy just traveled in a straight line, which would be less energy. But because he was a businessman, that was good business, because then he could charge more for more energy. However, mine provided limitless energy to everywhere. But that is not how the world works. They don't measure their progress by progress. They measure it by dollars. And I think that is a tragedy. But, oh well. I'm not bitter over Edison's not paying me for my work, which was $50,000 that I was supposed to be paid. I'm simply bitter that he did not allow me to progress humanity to a stance that it should be. I believe that is, and not to be proud, but I mean, I'm Tesla, let me be proud. But I believe that is a tragedy equivalent to that of the burning of the Library of Alexandria. The loss of information and the loss of progress, possible progress within humanity, is tragic. I mean, we could have been so far had it not been for Julius Caesar's accident of burning Alexandria, and for Thomas Edison's accident of being a businessman rather than a scientist. Anyways, back to your therapy. I'm only doing this in threes. I only do things ever in threes. Any other number makes me uncomfortable. See? 1, 2, 3. In fact, I used 5 fingers on the bowl, or rather than 3, and I massaged it into your scalp more than 3 times. That makes me incredibly uncomfortable. It always has to be 3, a number 3. 3 is the magic number, and it is the only number that I am comfortable with. So let us start this again. 3 fingers, 3 massages, and then repeat. 3 fingers, 3 massages, and then repeat. 3 fingers, 3 massages, and then repeat. How did I come back to life? Easy. I mean, that would be kind of a silly question coming from being asked to a man who created a death ray, an earthquake machine, even though it wasn't an earthquake machine. It was simply a machine that created high frequency oscillation, that created shakes within the earth. But it wasn't an earthquake machine. Although Mark Twain thought it was an earthquake machine, but Mark Twain is a silly man. He's nice, he's just silly. But it's still a silly question to be asking someone who's created so many things. Would you think I would not make something that would revive myself after death? Like, my intelligence is far beyond anything anyone could imagine. Now, back to the massage. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You know, this plasma ball, when I do this, it reminds me of the day that I was born. I was born in a lightning storm. My mother said that I would be very capable of many things growing up, that I would be a very special child. My father lost faith in that promise when I dropped out of schools, but I didn't lose faith in myself, thankfully, because otherwise we would not have a lot of the inventions that we do. And fortunately, I had the good common sense to not create my death ray. Although that was truly a possibility, I really was going to create a death ray. However, if you really think about it, aren't guns death rays in and of themselves? I mean, you just shoot it at someone, boom, you're dead. I mean, think about it. But mine was cooler, and it's more sci-fi. So, I win. But I decided not to build it, because it's wrong. Anyways, we already have enough violence in the world. We don't need any more. But to continue. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Are you feeling anything yet? No? Okay, we're going to continue on with this process, but I'm going to be starting to work on your face. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. I was just reawakened from death a little while ago, so I do apologize. Well, if you must know, a man named Tirar Adeguello, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, tried many times to reincarnate me. He called me forth. I was just kind of like, excuse me, I'm busy. I'm working in the afterlife. And eventually he created a portal that I ended up slipping through. And that's how I came through to this side. However, some British woman, some European woman at least, but she was British, ended up calling me out of the portal. She ended up taking me under her wing, and she ended up giving me the facility that I needed in order to conduct my scientific work. And I feel indebted towards her and Tirara de Guello. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Anyways, to continue on. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What was the European woman's name? Well, I don't know. I asked her for her name, but she didn't tell me. She just said that her name was Unexcused and Noisy Neighbors. But she simply said that her name was 13. I don't exactly know what that means, but are there people with numbers as names nowadays? Not that you know of? She could be working for the government, looking for more of my patents and scientific works. Maybe I shouldn't trust her. Maybe I should use a different facility. But how am I supposed to get another facility? Anyways. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so you finally noticed that your pearl necklace is gone. Well, I had that vile thing burned. I hate pearls. They're so round and disgusting. I hate anything round. It's disgusting. And pearls especially are grotesque to me. And yet you wore one around your neck. Maybe I should conduct some electrotherapy to your neck. That is what I'm going to do. Simply to remove all the toxins of those disgusting pearls. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I think that should be pretty good. I think you're all ready with the neck and the everything. Oh no, I'm just a little bit tired. Unfortunately, I can only get 2 hours of sleep, which is all that I need. I mean, I sometimes take my afternoon nap, but 2 hours of sleep is all that I need. I think even Leonardo da Vinci only had 2 hours of sleep. It's called... Actually, no. Leonardo da Vinci had a different sort of sleep plan. I forgot what it was called. I think it was... No. I'm confusing his sleep pattern with Friedrich Nietzsche's theory of the Übermensch. But what was that name of that polyphasic sleep? I know that. But what was the specific name of his sleep? I can't remember the specific name of his sleep pattern. But I get my sleep for 2 hours in one go, while Leonardo da Vinci had his sleep out 2 hours of sleep throughout the day. So he would spend 2 hours awake, and then he would take 20-minute nap, or 4 hours awake and he would take a 20-minute, I think it was 4 hours awake, 20-minute nap periodically for years basically, while I just have 2 hours of sleep at night. So, and then an afternoon nap every now and again. And that's all that I need. People say that they need 8 hours of sleep to promote brain function, but that's not me. My brain functions quite well. In fact, impeccably well. In fact, on a level that is incomparable. Sometimes I believe that I am God's gift, but who knows? I don't know. I mean, I was raised a Christian, but I do have a lot of Buddhist tendencies and appeals. I do like a lot of the Buddhist philosophies, but I'm also a bit atheist, so Who knows? I don't even know what I believe in anymore. I only believe in me and science. I might not even believe in God. I believe in science. Anyways, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you feel anything? No. Nothing at all. Let's go back to your scalp then. More direct contact with your brain, which is what we're really after. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. In all honesty, I no longer care very much for the alternating and direct currents that so many people, as I've heard, have attributed to me being a nemesis to the late Thomas Edison, who is still dead. Anyways, I really don't care anymore. The only thing that saddens me is the fact that humanity could have had so many possibilities. They could have had free energy at low costs, if any cost. And imagine how well powered this world could have been. Not having to rely on diesel, not having to rely on so many pollutants. Going forward into a utopic sci-fi sort of world that the Jetsons had imagined. Oh yeah, that's right. I caught up on American culture quite quickly. I am Nikola Tesla. I can do very many things quickly. But now people only imagine Hunger Games and Maze Runner and some other dystopic novels. Basically everything is a dystopia nowadays. There's going to be an apocalypse, there's going to be by zombies or hunger or disease or the world imploding. You know, when before the world seemed so bright and full of possibilities, now the world seems dim and dark and full of death. And that's a bit tragic considering how we've come so far, only to be stunted by the pessimistic views of so many people. There's always been death in the world, there's always been tragedy, but the difference is the way the majority of people look at the way the world should go, and most people are taking their own self-pity and throwing it into the perspective of how the world is and how the world should be and how the world owes them something, or that the world is some destitute place that has corrupted so many people, which it is. But back during the Industrial Revolution, where it was truly terrible. I mean, children were losing arms and legs in machines just to be paid 12 cents an hour, or no, 12 cents a day, just to feed their families who were also doing the same work or were dead. So, not to mention Jack the Ripper was also around. So if people want to complain, just think about how bad it was during the Industrial Revolution, and despite how bad it was, people still looked forward to the future, even if it was just for business. But they created cars, they created industry, they created what's it called? Empire State Buildings. No, it's not. That's the name of a building. They created, I forgot the name of it. Very, very tall buildings. I'm so sad. Why do I keep forgetting so many terms? Disregarded it. But yeah, we've had so many accomplishments, and yet people only want to look at the disgusting facets of life, which there are plenty, but there's also plenty of good that we have done and can do. But I think the best way to look at it is through the eyes of the Hellenists, who were big-time players of Grecian world back in the early times, or rather during the middle times of time, around the time of before Christ meeting after Christ era. The Hellenists were certainly a thriving community. I mean, to live in that era, not as a woman, is amazing. I mean, sure, women had terrible roles and they could have focused on how terrible their role was, but the progress that people were making is in dispute. I mean, the philosophers of the time, I mean, Socrates to Plato to Aristotle to who else? I mean, Hypatia was around, and she was just a small-time player, although she was around towards the end of the Hellenistic, not reign or rule, but the Hellenistic times. Who else was a great mind during the time? And when it comes to philosophers, people only think of them as being people who can play with words, but philosophy encompasses science and math and what else? English, but science and math as well. If it had not been for philosophy, science and math would not have been things, the scientific method would not have been a thing. The Pythagorean theorem, which was created by Pythagoras, another philosopher, would not have been a thing. Plato created a lot of things as well. Aristotle was a founder of many mathematical principles. I believe he was even the founder of arithmetic, I believe. So yes, there was many advancements during the time. But unfortunately, religion took over and they forced people into the Dark Ages and the medieval times, and progress was stunted. And then the Library of Alexandria had been burned down, although that had been in, I can't remember what year exactly, but I do believe it was somewhere around like in the 30s before Christ era. 30s before Christ. It was burned down somewhere around there, I believe. And yeah, I think that's one of the biggest tragedies, in my opinion, the burning of Alexandria. Imagine the condition of the world and what it could have been by now. We could have had smartphones. Had the Library of Alexandria and its knowledge had not been lost, we could have had smartphones in like 500 AD maybe 1000 AD. And imagine how far we could have been at the point we are now, at 1000 AD. And by the time we got to this point, we could have been so much far ahead. But we're not. And no one listened to me. So it's not like we're making any strides to get any better. And every time there's a scientist who's proposing something that's a little too forward thinking, people want to knock them down. Because certain groups of people are not ready to accept fact and science and proof. Anyways, back to your therapy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No kidding. There is a car named after me. A car that drives itself. That is an honor kind of. Not really, but still. It's something. But, cool. How much it costs that much? Is Thomas Edison by chance selling it or something? Because that is quite a pricey car. Anyways, thanks for the bad news. 1, 2, 3. I can't even afford my own car. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You're feeling something? You're feeling pressure and tingles all over your head. Is it building by chance? It's suffocating your brain. Excellent. Well, obviously you're gonna keep still because you're tied down. But 1, 2, 3. Let's pump this up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. How is it feeling now? It's like a pounding sound. It's like a dinging in your ears, basically. Alright. That is amazing. I'm so happy. Can you hear more noises now? Like a ringing in your ears. I'm so happy. Your vision is going out. Perhaps it's the blood pulsing in your brain. It's going in there. It's making you smarter. It's making you stronger. Here, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to continue on with these tests, whether you want me to or not.